Yeah, I think we looked after our ball a lot better. There were probably half as many turnovers as we had last week, so that didn't allow them as much access to play off turnover ball, where we know they're so dangerous. I felt we repaired a bit of stuff in the air. I don't think Israel Folau had as much access because Keith Earls, I thought, was super in the air, got very high. He's not quite the same size as Israel Folau, but he is dynamic when he's going up at the ball. The scrum was nice and solid. I thought we even got a little bit of pressure at times. And as I say, the ball retention was good. I thought in that third quarter, we broke the line a couple of times really well, but it was difficult to score in behind it. I thought Nick Phipps's tackle on Keith Earls was an absolute try saver. I think it's a Nick Phipps special, really. He works so hard in behind the line. He's a very good cover defender, and he did a great job. The pop up to Rob Kearney, then he didn't quite get over, and there was probably a couple of penalties conceded down there subsequent to that probably they put some pressure on themselves, trying to get off the line and stop us scoring at that stage, and thankfully Tig managed to get over in the end. So I just thought that third quarter was probably defining for us and allowed us that buffer toward the end where we had Joey Carberry coming on to replace Devon Toner. I haven't seen that too many times. Luckily we didn't have to throw him up in the line out, but we were just hanging in toward the end there, which you don't want to be against an Australian team with the athletes they have and the way they like to play with width, and it was hard to stop their access. It was another nip and tuck game. I think if people want a test series, I think it's a genuine test every time, and that's probably no surprise.
Dan, thanks very well. On the injury front, Dan, Andrew and Keane, how are they looking?
Yeah, I think Andrew is looking probably, I'd say he could train fully on Tuesday. He got a hip pointer, just that bruise that kind of, it's debilitating at the time, but I think over the next 48 hours that will wear itself through, and I'd be really confident with Andrew Conway. Keane, just a smack on the AC, which again is temporarily debilitating, but he could still well be okay. And Dan got a whack right on the sternum, which again is very uncomfortable, but he could potentially have played on. But I thought Geordie Murphy went on and did a really good job in his place. There was a few other guys we changed with cramp toward the end, and I think that's probably reflective of the ball and play time. There wasn't a lot of kicking. There was a lot of chasing people around, and that made it a real challenge.
Peter, what did that feel like to play?
Look, it was a test match. Hugely physical, hugely intense. It was as expected when you come up against one of the best teams in the world. The physicality. Up front, we had a lot of ball certainly in the first half. Even in the second half, we had a lot of ball. There was a lot of breakdown stuff. So it was a very challenging physical game.
Did you feel that you dealt better with Hooper and Hogarth at the breakdown this week as opposed to Brisbane?
I think somewhat better. I still think they get in there and got a couple of turnovers, but it's hard playing against two of the best in the world at that game. So we'd be happy with some of the improvement we made, but it's certainly an area for us to continue to work on and have to target those kind of guys.
Personally, do you have 3 breakdowns?
Yeah, a couple, yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah, happy enough.
Joe, first one here since 1979. Does it feel like a huge moment for this team?
Probably not right now, because all we did was balance the series. I think it all depends on what we can deliver next week, and I know the Wallabies will be thinking the same thing. They're a really good side, and if they do get a bit more access, I know, as you saw toward the end, we were chasing shadows. So nothing feels monumental when it's 1-1. You know, feels like there's still a huge amount to play for. So we'll kind of glue ourselves back together, get the trip out of the way to Sydney tomorrow, and Monday have a bit of a look back at the game, and then Tuesday, Thursday get back out on the training pitch in North Sydney Oval and try to work our way through a couple of things. As Pete said, there's still a few things that we know we need to do better, because we know that they're going to keep getting better. I think it's really evenly poised, and I wouldn't be I wouldn't be keen on favouring either side just because the way the series has gone so far, both games have really been in the balance.